individuals who both went to the same high school, joined the military, joined the same employer, both defended themselves from a member of the public. One was fired, one was not. One was black, one was white. Will you join me as I share with you what happened here? I'm Yao Dinizulu, a discrimination attorney in Chicago, Illinois, practicing in state and federal courts. The United States and Illinois Constitution, along with numerous laws, protect our citizens from discrimination. The laws are there to ensure the equal protection of all people. It's the foundation of our democracy. A few years ago, I was contacted by a gentleman who we will call Bob. Bob, a black African-American who was 2 years from retiring. He brought a retirement home, working extra overtime to save for retirement. He was called out for a job to help remove a stranded motorist. The stranded motorist started arguing with Bob. Bob decided to walk away to de-escalate the situation. The stranded motorist, near the side of a road, grabbed Bob as he walked away. Bob, not knowing whether or not he was going to be pushed onto ongoing traffic, defended himself and hit the stranger. Within a week, Bob was suspended and subsequently fired. In the lawsuit that we filed, we learned that a similar employee had a similar altercation at the job, but was not fired by his employer. It was a person who Bob trained almost 10 years earlier. We will call him Joe, who was white or Caucasian. Joe was in a minor accident removing a car from the road. The motorist he hit was very angry and threw hot coffee at Joe. Joe got out of his vehicle and chased this motorist and grabbed him and punched him 6 times in the face. A police report was written up. Joe filed a workers' compensation claim complaining about the injuries in that altercation. It was denied by the supervisor of Joe and Bob. The employer had a policy that if a public person was being aggressive with them, they had a responsibility to walk away. However, we were able to prove that this particular policy, which is neutral on its face, was not equally treated for both Bob and Joe. Oftentimes, in discrimination cases, you must show that the person who took the adverse action did so with one person differently than they did with another. So what we were able to do is we were able to look at the workers' compensation file, where it specifically outlined what Joe had done in his altercation, which was similar to what Bob had done in his altercation. In fact, we were able to get Bob and Joe, supervisor, to acknowledge that he was the one who excused Joe's conduct. Once it had been established that all of these similar situations between Bob and Joe existed, including the high school they went to, the jobs that they had, the fact that they were in the military, and the fact that they had the exact same job description, this was not a case that they wanted to take to trial. This case was settled 24 hours before a jury was picked. If you have questions of whether or not you were discriminated against, contact our office at the number below. We answer these types of questions all the time. I'm Yao Dinizulu, a discrimination attorney practicing in Chicago, Illinois in federal and state cases. Thank you for joining me.